The Camaro doesn't need an introduction. It has been battling the Mustang since '67, so it's no wonder it's one of the most recognizable vehicles on the road today. In this review, we're going to look at the SS convertible version, but we will also be discussing the Coupe, as well as the 2 trim levels available on each. So let's go ahead and check out this beast. We would like to specially thank Sutherland Chevrolet for giving us access to today's vehicle. If you would like to check out their beautiful dealership and extensive inventory of new Chevys, we have provided a link to their website in the video description. The Camaro basically has the typical Chevy key fob, except for 2 extra buttons, one that controls the top and one for the remote start system. This will come on automatic SS's. Of course, you also get smart entry. The reason you get the SS is for the engine, so let's start by checking that out. So under the hood you have a beast of an engine, Chevy's 6.2 LT1 naturally aspirated V8. It makes impressive power, 455 for both horsepower and torque, which is identical to the Corvette Stingray. As such, it can match its big brother to 60 miles per hour in 4 seconds flat. Power will always be directed to the rear wheels, but there are 2 choices for transmissions. The standard one is a 6-speed manual with active rev matching, or an optional 8-speed automatic. Many people will stick with the purity of the manual, but the majority still choose the automatic, which gives you a faster 0 to 60 time and better fuel economy. Thanks to cylinder deactivation, automatic SS's are rated at 17 city, 27 highway, 20 combined, compared to 16 city, 25 highway, 19 combined without it. Regardless, both are better than the Mustang GT. Anyways, now let's check out the styling and all of the features. So Mason is lowering the top right now, which can be done at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. It is also fully automatic, so you don't have to unlatch it or anything like that. This is my first time reviewing the all-new Camaro, which came out last year, but I do have experience with the last generation. Compared to that, the styling changes are evolutionary, but considering how successful it's been, I don't blame them. The biggest change up front is the widening of the lower grille, and the top portion is a little narrower. The badging has been moved from the top to the bottom. Moving to the headlights, they have been slimmed down a bit, and SS gets special accent lighting across the bottom edge. You do still retain the regular daytime running lights as well. Moving to the wheels, Chevy gives you huge 20-inch alloy wheels standard. These have a slightly different 5-spoke design, available in silver or a gray finish. There are 2 more premium options available, also 20 inches, for a hair under $2,000. The Camaro SS includes large Brembo brakes standard, measuring in at 13.6 inches in the front and 13.3 inches in the rear, both 4-piston ventilated. For tires, the SS gets standard Goodyear Eagle F1 summer tires. The mirrors are power adjustable on all models, but only the 2SS gets heating and auto dimming on the driver's side. We also have blind zone alert, which lights up this indicator when a vehicle is in your blind spot. It's very helpful on a car like this. The Camaro comes with a generously sized 19-gallon fuel tank. That's enough to get it a 380-mile range with the automatic, and 361 miles with the manual. That's nearly 100 miles better than the equivalent Mustang. The biggest difference about the new Camaro versus the old one is something you can't see: the all-new platform. The new Alpha chassis shaves off a ton of weight for both the coupe and convertible. It is also very stiff, which is a big help for the convertible especially, since it was designed with that in mind from the beginning. We also have the optional magnetic ride control system, which allows you to have 3 settings that I will go over on the inside. Finally, I want to mention the 1LE track performance package. It changes pretty much everything, so I don't have time to mention it all. But basically think of it as having the upgrades from the ZL1, but with the smaller engine. In the rear, the changes are even less noticeable than the front, but it does still have that mean look to show you that it means business. Up top we have a large spoiler, which I believe is standard on SS. The taillights are slimmer, of course, and they have a dual look to them even though they are one unit. My favorite part is the giant dual exhaust out back. Let's just enjoy the burble for a minute. I think that covers everything on the outside, so let's go ahead and check out the vastly improved interior. If the outside of the new Camaro was an evolution, the inside is a gene mutation. There is almost nothing to link it back to the old model, since things are now pretty luxurious. Since we have the loaded 2SS trim, we get perforated leather available in this jet black, adrenaline red, ceramic white, Kalahari, or medium ash gray. The other trim will get cloth seating, and I would like to point out that you can get Recaro performance seats on either trim. As we slide over to the door trim, you'll find nice materials here too. The armrest is softly padded in leather, and this patch up here is too. Both of your windows are auto up and down. There are also two-person memory seat controls, standard on our 2SS trim. For the seat, you have an 8-way power adjusting one across both trims. The seat itself has soft perforated leather, and I love the contrasting colors and SS branding in the seat back. When you first get in, everything feels spacious and open, with the roof down, that is. The cabin also looks and feels more luxurious. The upper dash is nicely grained plastic, and in front of the passenger you have a swath of leather with stitching, and likewise where your knees would rest. Fit and finish is also impressive. On the SS Camaro, push-button start is standard. This 8-inch high-resolution MyLink screen is also standard. It's interesting how it kind of angles downward. Alright, so now that we've got it all fired up, let's close the top to keep things quiet in here. It's a really simple process, just hold this button down. You will need to roll the windows back up yourself. Now things feel a lot more constrained, but in regards to headroom, there is still plenty for someone of my size. Coming back to the gauges, you have a nice mix of physical and digital displays. This is similar to several other General Motors products, with a nice big 8-inch display in the middle. It can show a variety of info like G-force, or more traditional things like phone, audio, navigation, or vehicle settings. The coolest thing is that you can change between several different themes depending on what mood you're in. The steering on the Camaro is electric power, and it's fed through this really nice flat bottom perforated leather steering wheel. Down at the bottom you have a special 50th anniversary badge. On the left side of the wheel you have your cruise controls, and then also the 2SS exclusive heated steering wheel button. These buttons correspond to the driver's display, and then there are some more buttons for volume. The wheel itself is manually tilt and telescoping. Over here you'll find buttons for the heads-up display that we have. It's kind of hard to see projected over the white car, but you can move it up and down across the windshield, adjust the brightness, and pick between different layouts. This is standard on the top 2 SS trim only. Now, storage space isn't likely one of the reasons you'd buy a muscle car, but overall the Camaro isn't really that bad. To start out with, you have a little area in the door. The center armrest also hides a shallow bin, with a few connections as well. Obviously, this Camaro opted for the 8-speed auto. The shifter has a really nice leather and metal design to it. You can shift manually like so, or you can use the paddle shifters. When in reverse, a high-quality backup camera appears. It has dynamic guidance lines, and also parking sensors on 2SS. Below the shifter, you can turn off traction control, and change the drive modes. There are 4 of them: Tour, Sport, and Track, plus a snow mode. Finally, the parking brake is now electronic. The new Camaro has an interesting climate control setup. This rim around the vents actually acts as the temperature controller instead of regular knobs or buttons. The vents themselves still adjust the same way as regular ones. The rest of the controls are located on this row above them. All in all, I really like this setup since it's simple and looks nice. Both SS's get 3-stage heated front seats, but only the 2SS adds seat ventilation. Now let's take a listen to the Bose 9-speaker sound system, standard on the 2SS. Sound quality is impressive. Now that we've wrapped most everything up, let's take a quick look at the Chevy MyLink system. By the way, it is standard on the SS Camaro, although integrated navigation is not. This 8-inch screen is very responsive and the graphics look good. In audio, you have the standard affair of controls, and you can pair your phone through the standard Bluetooth. Lining the bottom, you have physical buttons, and on the top you have another set of shortcuts to the different apps. Going into phone, you have all the regular stuff, and you can scroll through a list of synced contacts. Projection is where the standard Apple CarPlay or Android Auto would show up if you had your phone connected. These features are quite useful since you can use their navigation functions instead of paying the extra $500 for integrated. If you choose to buy the integrated nav, you'll be pleasantly surprised by the nice graphics and smooth zooming and scrolling. Finally, you have OnStar services. This is where you'll find the well-known 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot, which is standard on the SS Camaro. That's all I'm going to go into for this video. But if you'd like to see a more detailed look at the MyLink system or OnStar services and their plans and prices, follow the link provided in the description to our tech help tutorial. Oh, and one last thing, the loaded 2SS Camaro has what Chevy calls spectrum lighting. You can pick between a ton of different colors for the cabin to be illuminated with, and there are a few settings like linking it to certain drive modes. All Camaros will get this nice looking frameless glass rearview mirror, but only the 2SS gets auto dimming abilities. Also 2SS exclusive are these universal garage door openers. You've got an LED light, and this is for the top. While the Camaro's interior hasn't been known for being nice in the past, this new interior completely changes that perception. The mix of nice materials and good build quality will impress shoppers, so basically they changed what was bad and kept what was good. Now I'll hand it over to Mason, who will show you the cargo area and the back seats.
To open up the trunk on the Camaro, just use the key fob. Now obviously the trunk of a sports convertible isn't the biggest at 7.3 cubic feet, but it isn't too bad for the class. The coupe's capacity raises to 9.1 cubic feet, which is still a little bit behind the Mustang's 11.4 and 13.5 cubic feet capacities. To get into the back seats of the Camaro SS, just pull this lever on the seat back. The seat won't automatically slide forward, but you can just do that yourself. The rear seats of the Camaro convertible have a cramped 29.9 inches of legroom and 33.4 inches of headroom. I imagine that's probably about average for this class. Legroom really isn't the worst part about this area, but keep in mind that the seat is all the way forward. Our loaded up model also gets this wireless phone charger. That's pretty neat for this class of vehicle. My main problem with the rear is the lack of any armrest, and there's almost zero headroom. If you've got people in the back, I'd recommend putting the top down. As you can see, getting in and out really isn't all that easy. And we'll go ahead and slide the seat back into place. And if you couldn't already tell, the passenger seat is 6-way power adjusting across the Camaro SS lineup. This is nice padded material, and the glove box is nicely dampened. I like this soft area where your knees rest. Well guys, we hope you enjoyed this in-depth review on the 2017 Chevy Camaro SS convertible. Stay tuned for the pricing info on this particular Camaro, as well as the rest of the SS lineup. Please like, subscribe, comment, and join us next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.